All right, you guys, we are going to review two-step equations. Remember, I'm not going to spend too much time going over the steps, but I want you to remember with two-step equations, you have to first undo the addition and subtraction, and then undo the multiplication and division. So this removes the constant, and this removes the coefficient. Okay? So let's get right into some examples so you know what we're talking about here. I have folded my paper over to keep it nice and neat. Remember, you're showing all your work, including your notes. So let's get started. 6x plus 8 equals 50. So remember, we have to undo the addition or subtraction. So we have addition, we undo it with subtraction. So we're subtracting 8 from both sides. We're left with 6x on the left because 8 minus 8 is 0. 50 minus 8 is 42. Now what's being done to x? It's being multiplied by 6. To undo multiplication, we have to divide. All right. So 6 divided by 6 is 1, so we just have 1x left on the left. 42 divided by 6, well, 6 times 7 is 42. All right. Now, you might see it a little bit different. You might see something like 13 equals negative 4k plus 9. It doesn't matter what side our variable's on, right? First, we're undoing the addition and subtraction. So here it is. It's addition, so we have to undo it with subtraction. 13 minus 9 is 4. Equals negative 4k plus, and that should be 0, right? Now, k is being multiplied by negative 4, so we have to divide it by negative 4. We have 4 divided by 4 is just 1, but it's going to be negative 1 because our signs are different, and we have 1k. All right? Now, remember, sometimes our constants end up on the left. So you might have something like negative 7 plus x over 2. Remember, that means x divided by 2 equals 9. So first, when you're undoing this, you're trying to get rid of this. So if it's being subtracted, or if you have a negative, you have to add. You need a positive to make it 0. Okay? So you have 0 on this side. X over 2 equals 9 plus 7 is 16. Okay, so what is being done to the x now? It's being divided by 2, so I have to multiply both sides by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. That's just what we wanted, right? We have to make sure we're doing the correct thing to just get 1x, or x by itself, on that side. Now 16 times 2 equals 32. All right, I want you to try this next one. Negative 1/3 m. Oh, it's a fraction. We can do it together first if you want, and then I'll give you the one to practice if it's easier. But if you think you know it, go ahead and try it, guys. All right, so we're undoing the addition by subtracting from both sides. We have negative 1/3 m equals negative 8. Remember, it's getting more negative. Now we have to multiply by the reciprocal. Well, the reciprocal is when we flip it, right? So we're multiplying both sides by negative 3 over 1, or really just by 3, right? But we'll say negative 3 over 1. So this makes it 1m. We have m equals 8 times 3 is 24. 2 negatives make it positives, but remember 2 wrongs don't make it right. And when that's divided by 1, it's still just 24. Alright, I'm giving you one more. This is a toughie to practice on your own, and then I want to show you some tricky ones. Negative 10 plus 7/4 p equals negative 38. Alright, pause your video, give that a try on your own. Alright, what you should be doing is getting rid of this constant first. If it's negative, we're going to do the positive version of that because we want it to be 0. 10 minus 10 is 0. We're left with 7/4 p equals, it's getting less negative, so 38 minus 10 is 28, but our bigger number is still negative. Now we have to multiply by the reciprocal to get rid of this fraction. 4/7, right? 4/7. This is 1. Remember, to make it easier on ourselves, we can take 7 out of both. So 7 goes out of 7 once. 7 goes out of 28 4 times, but that's a negative 4. So we're left with negative 4 times 4, which equals 16, and it's negative because our signs were different. Okay? Alright, here are some examples where the multiplication and division, so multiplication and division is done first. So look out for these types of examples, okay? So you might see x plus 11 over 8 equals negative 3. So remember, this would be grouped first. This would be the operation we would be doing first if we actually knew what that number was. So we have to do what would be doing last to undo it first. It's kind of like unweaving a big knot, right? So to undo this division, we have to multiply both sides by 8. So that gets rid of the 8. That puts a 1 underneath it, right? So all that's left over here is x plus 11. Negative 3 times 8. Well, 3 times 8 is 24. Our signs are different, so it's negative. And then you're left with a one-step equation. You can do that, right, guys? Go ahead and do that. X equals more negative, right? Negative 35. All right, I want you to try one more like that. How about 4 equals w plus 8 divided by 9? So we have to undo this division first by multiplying both sides by 9. On the left we have 36. On the right, this becomes a 1, so anything divided by 1 is just itself. And then it's a one step, right? You guys got this. Okay? Alright, so you might have something similar, but with parentheses showing multiplication. So you can do it one of two ways. You can use distributive property and multiply through, right? Or you can just undo that multiplication first step. So if you have something like 3 times x plus 1 with that in parentheses, then you have to undo that multiplication first by dividing both sides first. So this becomes 1, x plus 1 is equal to 3, and then it's just a one step, right? You're subtracting 1 from both sides, x equals 2. I want you to make sure you're showing all this work. One more I want you to try on your own. Pause your video and give it a go. Negative 5 times the quantity, or the difference, of y minus 2 equals 15. All right, so you have to undo this multiplication. Make sure you're paused and you've done it already. Undo the multiplication with division. You're left with y minus 2, negative 3. Now it's just a one step. You have to get rid of that 2, or that negative 2 rather. Y equals negative 1, because 3 minus 2 is 1, and our bigger number is negative. Alright guys, give this a go. Make sure you're showing all of your work and including an image with your homework assignment. Let me know if you have any questions.